Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about problem-solving strategies. Students always ask me two questions. Is this going to be on the test? And then how do you use it in the real world? Today we're really going to focus on what do we do in the real world. In the real world, math equations aren't written out the way we find them in textbooks and problem sets. Math is still used, but you have to use critical thinking to find the solution to a problem. Most math books and math teachers point to Polya's problem-solving techniques as a guide to how you should solve problems. Polya wrote his problem-solving techniques in the book How to Solve It in 1945, but we can still use his ideas today to think about how we should attack a problem. Polya's problem-solving techniques break down into 4 parts. We start with understanding the problem, we devise a plan, we carry out the plan, and then we look back. Understanding the problem means we need to read through the problem completely, figure out what is it asking us. What do we know? What do we need to know? How are those things connected? Then we devise a plan. So we want to write things down, maybe draw a picture, think about what kind of answers we should get, and also try to estimate what the answer might be. Then we're ready to carry out the plan. So we're going to use strategy to solve the problem. We're going to be organized and write down our steps. We're going to work through each step until we arrive at a solution. After we have our solution, we want to look back. We want to consider, is our answer reasonable? Does it make sense? And could there be more than one right solution? Let's start with something easy. An orange grove has 40 rows of trees with 25 trees in each row. How many orange trees are in the orange grove? So maybe we want to kind of draw a little box and think we have 40 rows. And then each of those rows has 25 trees. So what will we want to do? We should think, well, let's multiply. 40 times 25 equals 1,000. So notice we read through the problem, we wrote down what we know, we used our strategy of multiplication, and we look at 1,000. We think, does that sound right? And it looks really good. Let's make that a little bigger. You need to buy a new refrigerator. You can purchase one for $1,200, or you can finance the purchase for $59.91 a month for 2 years. How much more do you pay for financing the purchase? So when I look through this information, let's write down what we know. We know that it would be $1,200 if we just bought the refrigerator, or we would pay $59.91 per month for 2 years if we finance it. So looking at this, we have part of the picture right now, but we really need to know what does that equal if we pay $59.91 a month. So let's do our total paid would be $59.91 times 12 times 2. This is a total of $1,438.80. So we look through what we know. We know there's a $1,200 purchase price, or there's a finance that's a total of $1,438.80. So to find how much we would pay for the financing, we want to subtract the 2. So I take the $1,438.80 minus the $1,200 that it cost, and it says we pay $238.80 as a finance. This time we purchase a house that costs $325,000. You pay 15% down and finance the balance for 30 years at 6.5% interest. Your monthly payment is going to be $1,746.09. Question 1 says, how much do you pay in total for the house? And then question 2, how much interest do you pay? So 2 things are going on here. When we look at how much we pay in total for the house, we have a 15% down payment. So we want to say we have a down payment. Plus we have our total monthly payments. So kind of this is our reading through, deciding what we need to do, looking at for what we know, and now let's go about calculating this. So the down payment was 15%, so that's 0.15 of the total price of $325. Now it's $325,000 plus our monthly payments. Well, our monthly payments were $1,746.09, but that's per month, so there's times 12, and that's for 30 years, so that's times 30. Let's write each of those pieces down. So our down payment was $48,750, and our monthly payments total $628,592.40. So there's a grand total of $677,342.40. So how much interest did we pay? Well, the interest is going to be the difference between the total paid minus the original cost. So if we take the $677,342.40 We'll subtract 325,000. That says we paid $352,342.40 in interest. Let's step away from finance. Now we have a 96-foot rope that needs to be cut into 3 pieces. The second piece should be twice as long as the first piece, and the third piece should be 5 foot longer than 4 times the length of the first piece. Let's find the length of each piece. So here's what I'm going to write out. I have this long 96-foot rope, and there's going to be 3 pieces. So here's my first piece. Here's my second piece. And then here's my third piece. When you're looking through, the second piece should be twice as long as the first piece. So we don't know what the first piece is. Let's call it x. Then twice as long would be 2x. Then the third piece should be 5 feet longer. So let's say that's 5 plus 4 times the length of the first piece. So let's say that's 4x. So I have my first, second, and third. And I know when I add that up, x plus 2x plus 5 plus 4x, that's supposed to be 96. This first x represents 1x. So I have 1 plus 2 plus 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 x's plus 5 should be 96. I want to subtract 5 from both sides, which is 7 times x is 91. Divide by 7, x is equal to 13. So that says the first piece is 13 foot long. The second piece is twice as long, so 2 times 13 would be 26 feet. And then this last piece should be 4 times 13 plus 5. So 4 times 13 is 52, plus 5 gives me 57, so let's write 57. Now, one thing I think you could do that's going to be helpful with this one is when you're looking back, make sure that 13 plus 26 plus 57 adds up to the 96 feet that we said we had. So 13 plus 26 plus 57 gives me 96. So there's that nice look back and check to make sure it makes sense. Let's try this. 100 people were asked about their siblings. 66 have a sister, 60 have a brother, and 42 have both a sister and a brother. So let's try to figure out how many of these 100 people are only children, how many only have a sister, how many only have a brother, and how many have a sister or a brother but not both. Now, one thing you might see at first that doesn't seem right is 66 plus 60 is bigger than 100, but that's okay because we had some of these people that have both a brother and a sister. Like if we take the 66 that have a sister, 42 also have a brother. So if I subtract that, that says 24 only have a sister. We could put that right here. Same thing with the brother. The 60 that have a brother, 42 of them also had a sister. So when I subtract and I get 18, that says 18 only had a brother. This is really helpful because what we know is 42 have both a brother and a sister. 24 only have a sister, 18 only have a brother, so let's add that up. That gives me 84. So these 84 people have either a sister, a brother, or both. So if 84 people have a brother or sister, that tells me the rest of the group, 100 minus 84, which is 16, those are my only children. Let's put that up there. The last piece says how many have a brother or a sister, but not both. That would be back to our 24 and our 18. The ones that only have a sister only have a brother, 24 plus 18, which gives me 42. Now, sometimes this can be kind of hard to go through this way, so let me show you a different way we could approach this problem. So a second thing you can do is called a Venn diagram, which just says let's draw some circles to represent the situation. So we could have people that have a sister, have a brother. This part in the middle, which I will shade in yellow so we can kind of really look at it, would be the people that have both. And then I'll just draw a big box around it to say, hey, this is everybody we talk to. So the Venn diagram is just a way to organize. And when you look at Venn diagrams, you try to start with the both. So this 42 people who had both a brother and a sister, I would put right here. Then this whole circle should add up to 66. So when we do our 66 minus 42 like we did before, and we got 24, we would put 24 right here. That way this whole circle is sisters, and it adds up to 66 people. So the same thing with the brothers, we do 60 minus 42, and we still get the same 18, but visually I think this is a little more organized and easier for us to follow. You can add the 24, 42, and 18, like we did before, and that gave us 84, and we can still do 100 minus 84, which gives us 16, which go here. So this 16 represents an only child. Doesn't have a brother, doesn't have a sister. We would put this 16 right here. People who only have a sister would be right here that I'm coloring in green. So only sister would be 24. Only having a brother would be this 18 over on the right. Then our last one, how many have a brother or a sister but not both? That would be the 24 and 18, which comes out to be 42. So sometimes a picture really does help you organize in a different way. Not trying to do everything there is to do in Venn diagrams, but just have a way to organize a little better. If you want to see a few more problems, I'll link another video into the description. Good luck.